Travis Kelce, the all-pro, all-world, future Hall of Fame tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs, hyperextended his right knee in practice on Tuesday. Tests were done. Kansas City believes the ACL is intact. He's going to continue to be tested, but there's major questions as to whether or not he's going to be available coming up tomorrow. I know Dr. David Chow says it's doubtful on Twitter that he would be ready to go, but the good news is obviously not out for the year because the ACL is intact. But doesn't this lead to this is another reason why it's really hard to repeat as champion in the NFL? Because there's just stuff like this that pops up. There's an element of breaks or luck or good fortune that Super Bowl champion teams end up having, and the Chiefs feel like they found themselves starting off on the wrong spot. And the gambling line would tell you as much, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. They were a 7-point favorite, in some spots 6.5 points yesterday, and now on DraftKings that is down to 4.5. So there's some real concern about whether or not Kansas City is going to look like Kansas City with no Kelce.
That's surprising when you see a tight end move the line 2 points. In most of the books I saw was about 6.5. That's where it settled. It opened at 7, all the way down to 4.5. I mean, that's like quarterback movement if you're getting a starter out usually. But this just goes to show you the significance of Travis Kelce's, chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. Even without Tyreek Hill last year, those two didn't miss a beat. And then maybe it tells you a little bit more. And I'll just ask you two guys, look at the roster. Eliminate Travis Kelce and then tell me, if as a defense, like who scares you? And mind you, Kadarius Toney was limited practice with a knee injury. One other player was as well. But if Travis Kelce isn't there, now they obviously don't have Tyreek Hill after winning a Super Bowl without him last year. But who else scares you on this offense where you really feel like you need to game plan for?
Well, not game plan. I mean, that's a tad bit extreme.
I don't.
For any of the guys. I mean, I like Scantling. I like Marquez Valdez-Scantling. But, I mean, I'm not.
Sky Moore?
Am I game planning them?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like third down red zone. You're not bracketing. You're not double coveraging. You're not like playing like a red one where you're moving the safety over to wherever Kelce's at to try to give a little extra help and take him away. Or like those doubles coverages that you'll see. Like you're not going to see that as much.
No, and furthermore to that point, Q, you can probably kind of bulk up and say we're going man. Yeah. And if you're able to successfully play man, it makes it a lot. You have more options on defense if you can lock more guys down than not in man coverage. You can run different types of blitzes. You can move around a little bit more, and you can make it really, really difficult on those offensive linemen because you can start to kind of overload different parts of the line at different times. And that's, it's going to be up to, obviously, and he's great at it, pre-reads, Patrick Mahomes, but it still becomes very stressful if you don't have that one guy that you got a bracket coverage, or we just cannot sit in a man coverage with this guy. We got to do something, and we got to be paying attention to where he is at all times. It takes a lot of stress off of a defense when you don't have that guy on the field.
I mean, and then you're going to get the Lions in there, and Dan Campbell, and the fighting Dan Campbells are going to
punch you in the mouth.
Oh yeah, they're looking to do some damage, especially in that game. I just
to make a statement, that's for certain.
Yeah, I think that, and we talked about this last year when it happened. Losing Tyreek Hill, obviously it's a big loss, but Travis Kelce's really the number one. And that was the one to where, well, you can't afford to lose Travis Kelce. And now, I mean, look, I don't know anything about hyperextended knees this, 2 days before a game. But
we could probably do it to you in studio right now. You'll be fine.
It'd be very painful.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Well, it'd be painful, but, I mean, you'd be fine eventually.
But here's the difference,
It's like stubbing your finger. Like, have you ever stubbed your finger?
Yeah. No, I've hyperextended my knee. I don't know what it's like.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What is it like?
Well, I don't know what it's like to miss work or shows after doing it. Much
but
like
you know what it feels like.
Going to do.
That's right.
I would still show up.
But you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
but he wouldn't miss work. Like radio, he would not miss for a hyperextended knee.
No.
Yeah.
When you hyperextended your knee, did you have crutches or did you just still walk around?
Still walk around. Come on, man. You know I'm built.
Okay.
Please.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of need to hyperextend if we're going to be honest here. All right, when you're walking around on pool noodles and you hyperextend your knee, it's a lot different than when Travis Kelce does it.
Huh.
So, yeah, it's all good. But if you're a Detroit Lions fan,
he is 6'5", 250. That is a weight-bearing limb. That's that's a tough one. That's a tough one, man.
Does he miss more than one game?
I mean, you can recover pretty quickly from a hyperextension, depending on kind of the level of severity of it, and you can come back. But it's still about kind of the comfort level, your pain tolerance level, the mobility. They're going to have to really do a good job of trying to probably get the blood and the swelling out of the in and around the knee. There's probably going to be some fluid that's going to be a buildup in his quad and in his knee. And what they're going to have to work to do is really, really keep that fluid from building up into his quad. And they're going to have to make sure his quad and his calf muscle is still firing. They're going to have to really, really, really do a lot of kind of rehabbing on the quad and the calf. And then it's just going to be up to what Kelce, what his tolerance level is.
Look at you, Dr. Arrington. How
well,
about that?
I've done it a few times. And so I just you over the years you start to listen to the things that they say and you're able to kind of regurgitate it. So I'm not saying it because I know it. I'm just saying it because I heard it.
Dr. Arrington. Dr. Arrington.
Yeah, they'll put that stem on all the little quad muscles. They'll put it on the calf muscle. Yeah, they'll ice it. They'll stretch it. But he's going to have to keep his quad and his calf muscle very strong. And, they're going to have to keep it, stretched out.
Do you do if you don't have a calf muscle? Some guys got small calves.
Yeah. Or no calves.
Man. Yeah, I don't know.
Jonas has no calves.
None.
Yeah, I'm a part of that. Everybody makes jokes of me when I do my posts on social media. You skipped leg day. My legs don't grow, guy.
Man, people say that to you?
All the time.
Wow.
Yeah, don't skip leg day. And I don't have the.
It's genetic, man.
I do not have the you skip leg day legs that they have on the commercial with the dude that's super big, and then they show his legs, and he's got little legs. My legs aren't that little. They're little though. They are little.
Yeah, mine are.
But not that.
So, speak for yourself.
You do have little legs, bro.
Thanks, man. I
It's all
appreciate
good,
it,
man. In some cultures, that's considered to be very, very sexy,
Oh, yeah?
What cultures is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you, but, I was very racially driven yesterday during our show. So
Yeah, I was going to say.
stay away from it today.
Probably a couple of countries you'd piss off if you went
I don't
want to
go 2 days in a row of making people upset.
Yeah. That's probably a smart move.